Okay, so this is Handbook video number 3, and I did go over the procedures of filing a complaint within 5 days, and there are a lot of different things that you have to do after you have filed that complaint. When it gets to that point, you should look back in the handbook to make sure that all of those things have been filed correctly. It is unlawful for any person to intimidate, threaten, or coerce, or attempt to intimidate, threaten, or coerce anyone, whether by illegal force, threats of force, or by the distribution of intimidating, threatening, or coercive material. Any person enrolled in any school for the purpose of interfering with the right of that person to attend school classes or causing him not to attend such classes. If you guys think about this, a lot of times on social media, if somebody's bullying or being mean, the other person may refuse to come to school. This is what that is talking about. So upon conviction of violation of this provision in the section, such individual shall be guilty of a misdemeanor and shall be subject to a fine of not to exceed $500, imprisonment in jail for a period not to exceed 6 months, or both. And if you are under the age of 17 and you violate this, you will be treated as a delinquent within the jurisdiction of the youth courts. Students are not permitted to make threats, whether overt or implied, against other students or staff personnel. Students are not allowed to extort money, favors, or something of value from other students or staff, regardless of the amount of the value, in return for protection or in connection with a threat to inflict harm. So you can't pay Big Bobby $10 a day to take care of you. You need to tell on Big Bobby. Such behavior is a violation of school policy, and students in violation are subject to disciplinary action. This is for anything on school grounds before, during, and after school, or any time when the school is being used by a school group. Now, it's also applicable off school grounds if you're at a school-sponsored event or when the prohibited behavior is a consequence are directly related to causes or events that occurred or originated on the school campus. Students and staff have a duty to report any knowledge they may have regarding the threat, plan, or design of a violent act to school authorities. This includes, but is not limited to, reporting knowledge of verbal or written comments by an individual or group of individuals stating their intent to commit a violent act, or knowledge that an individual is in possession of an item that is considered or could be considered a weapon. Failure to report such knowledge to school authorities is a serious violation of school policy. Gangs or group activity, if they threaten the safety or well-being of persons or property on school grounds, or which disrupt the school environment, are harmful to the educational process. Students who wear, carry, or display gang or group paraphernalia or exhibit behavior or gestures which symbolize gang membership and are participating in activities that intimidate or affect the attendance of another person shall be subject to appropriate action. This could be hand signals, graffiti on clothes, on your person, on notebooks, grooming, or which by virtue of its color arrangement, trademark, or symbol implies that you are affiliated with such a group. One year they had the gangs that came out that were shaving their eyebrows off. And so anytime a student came to school, even if he was just trying to be decorative and cute, when they have their eyebrows shaved, they got in trouble because at that point, that's what the gangs were doing to their eyebrows. With cyber stalking, it is unlawful for a person to participate in using email or any kind of electronic communication to threaten with words or language that you're going to inflict bodily harm to any person or that person's child, sibling, spouse, or dependent, or physical injury to the property of any person, or for the purpose of extorting money or other things of value from any person. You cannot email another person repeatedly, whether or not conversation ensues for the purpose of threatening, terrifying, or harassing this person. Email or electronic communication to another person to make false statements concerning death, injury, illness, disfigurement, indecent conduct, or criminal conduct of the person emailed or any member of the person's family or household with the intent to threaten, terrify, or harass. And you cannot knowingly permit an electronic communication device under the person's control to be used for any purpose prohibited in this section. Whoever commits the offense of cyber stalking shall be punished. You could have a fine not more than $5,000 or 2 years in jail, more than 2 years. In certain cases, the person that's guilty of a felony is punishable by imprisonment for not more than 5 years and not more than $10,000. So just remember, you're going to get in big, bad trouble. We prohibit the use of tobacco on school property. This is on a bus, at a game, in any kind of situation at school. This includes electronic cigarettes, but you cannot have Copenhagen. You can't have cigarettes. You can't have electronic cigarettes. And of course, you can't have any weed. Student possession of a weapon. It is a felony to possess a weapon on a school campus. You're going to be in huge trouble. We're talking about jail and fines and alternative school and juvenile detention court. This also includes BB guns, air rifles, air pistols, Bowie knives, dirks. I don't even know what that is. That's a good thing. Daggers, slingshots, leaded canes, switchblade knives, blackjack, metallic knuckles, razors, and razor blades. I hope none of you even know what those things are. You can be fined for that and put in juvie. You cannot have drugs like controlled substances or medications that are even over the counter. No student attending school should be allowed to carry these things in their purse or in their pockets, any kind of illegal drugs or even over-the-counter drugs. Let's say that you have a pill bottle. You went to the doctor, you had an ear infection, and they gave you an antibiotic. That is legal for you to get the antibiotic, but it's illegal for you to bring it to school. We do have a grievance policy. If something happens that you want to go to someone else, schools are under the direct supervision and control of the principal, who acts as the final authority at the school. But if your parents do not like the school decision, they need to put that in writing to the principal, and there are other people that can be taken to. Tip text is available to all middle school students. Your teachers will be telling you more about tip text and how to use that. Crime prevention we use that all the time. Of course, stay alert. Don't accept rides from someone you don't know. Trust your instincts. Know your neighborhoods. Don't leave your backpack or your purse in your car. If you go to the mall with your parent, make sure they lock the car and don't leave anything in it that somebody could steal. If you're worried about a bully or a threat, let a teacher know. And support the school policies and rules that help make this a safe place for you to learn. All of the start times are in the handbook on page 22, and this helps if you have a brother or sister at another school and you need to know their release times or their start times. Everybody will say the pledge. If you object to this, you don't have to say it, but you don't need to be disrespectful. You can sit quietly, but everyone else will say the pledge each day. If your parents would like a conference, each teacher has a time for your parents to schedule that. And time is allotted for visit to the classrooms by the principal and the counselor. So if your parents want to come to school for a visit, they need to, number one, call the school and talk with the counselor or principal to schedule a visit. And they cannot record any of the meeting while they are there. And they cannot record anything inside the classroom either. And the only reason we do that is because some other kids, their parents don't let them be recorded at all. So if your parents are recording, we could be violating someone's rights. Non-discriminatory basis, that means we're not going to discriminate against you for handicap or anything like that. Title IX, we're not going to discriminate against you because you're a girl. Title IX started out because of female sports. But if you feel like your rights have been violated with that, Wayne Folks is in charge of that at the county office. Asbestos in the buildings, there's a notice there. Enrollment of students, if you're in school right now and you're watching this video, you don't need to know about that. You don't need to know about returning students. All of that you've been verified with your residency and everything has been taken care of, or you wouldn't be watching this video. So we're going to skip over